Hey church, thanks for joining us today. Today's conversation is the series premiere of the Kyle and Kyle show. It might be the only episode we air, but we'll see. It should be pretty good. Today, Pastor Kyle is interviewing Kyle Wabusya, one of our youth students. Let's take a listen.
Well, good morning, church. Pastor Kyle here, and I cannot believe we are in week 17 of our conversations here at Northwest Life. I hope you guys are healthy and hope the family is doing well today. Happy July, by the way. Not typical July weather yet. I've seen some rain this past week. I'm sure you have as well. Bring on the sunshine. We want sunshine. And anyway, I'm here with another Kyle today, Kyle Wabusya. And Kyle, how you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good, Kyle Wheeler.
Kyle Wheeler, the two K-dubs. I mean, K-dubs squared here today at Northwest Life. And I know we've had lots of conversations from different people who attend the church, but today is the first time we get to interview somebody from our youth ministry, Nouveau Youth. So Kyle, I'm glad you're here today. And before we go any further, I have to ask you now, I'm a huge sports fan, sports person, and I know you were talking with me earlier about, you growing up playing soccer, but really getting into basketball. Do you have like a favorite athlete or basketball player?
I'd have to go with Allen Iverson.
Allen Iverson, that's a good pick. Why Allen?
Well, he's probably for an NBA. Sorry, dang.
All good, man.
For an NBA player, he was kind of short. He's about our height right now.
Yeah, 6'1".
But he was pretty good with dribbling. I think he's the one who did like the basic crossover. He was really good at it. He was very skilled with dribbling. Right now, for my height, I'm kind of big, so I'll probably play one of the bigger roles in basketball. So when I grow older, I'm trying to learn how to, I want to break people's ankles.
You want to break people's ankles?
Yes,
absolutely.
Allen
Iverson was known for breaking people's ankles with the crossover move.
I want to dominate on the court and off the court. He was very funny off the court.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, I got good news for you. You ready for it?
What is it?
I don't mean to toot the horn, but you came to the right place, man. I love basketball, and I'm not saying my crossover is as good as Allen Iverson, because that would be not accurate. But I'm just saying, we should probably get together and hoop it up, and when it's okay to do so. Obviously, we're still in the pandemic, but man, we should get together, shoot it up, crossovers, and get working on breaking people's ankles. So when basketball does resume, you'll be ahead of the curve.
Yep.
Sound good?
Yep, I'm down.
Well, like I said, I'm happy to have you here today and be a part of this conversation. And something that somebody or the people of the church won't know about you is you actually were born in Kenya and came here when you were 9 years old. But back in Kenya, what was life like in Kenya growing up?
Well, I was in Kenya till I was 9. So in Kenya, it was Kenya when I was 9. I'm not like, I can't rate it as if 13-year-old Kyle rating America because, different experiences and all that. But Kenya was overall it was a pretty cool place. I love it. I love Kenya. I'd love to go back again.
Yeah.
While I was in Kenya, I lived with my two uncles, my one aunt, and my mom.
Okay.
Till I was 2.5 years old. Then my mom came here. I don't know why here, but it's here, and I'm freezing. Not right now, but it's freezing.
Temperature change is a little different over here.
Yeah, really, we'll probably get back to that later, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then when I was 2.5 years old, she came here, and then I didn't, I was 2.5 years old when she left, so I got to know my mom over the phone and through Skype and all that.
Wow,
so I didn't really have we had a connection because she was my mom, but to me, she was still just a stranger because, I was 2.5 years old.
Right.
I didn't know anything. So then I got to know her through Skype. We got to know each other a little bit more. It wasn't as, for me, I truly didn't, okay, that's going to sound mean. I didn't really care too much. But I just kept on going on with life, and my mom was out here providing and stuff. So she came the first time, and We got to know her a little bit. I'm saying we. I got to know her a little bit. We got to go. I remember we went to this one place. It was like a resort,
Okay.
and we got to have these Ben 10 meatballs.
Oh. Is that working out? Are you shaking your head because they were
No.
good, or you're shaking your head because they were bad?
They weren't that good. They were just normal meatballs.
Normal meatballs.
No Ben 10 symbol, no nothing. It was sad. I cried that day. But I got to know her. I got to have funny memories with her. Then she left again. And then like a year later, she came back the second time. And then this time, I didn't really realize it too much, but she was actually taking me with her here. So I had to like, prep up. I had to say goodbye to everybody. Like, say goodbye to my grandpa and my grandma and my aunts and uncles, and my niece, who was like pretty much my sister, since I'd like known her since she was born. So I had to cope with that, and it kind of hit me last second when we were actually leaving that I might not ever. That I might not ever see them again, as a child maybe.
Yeah, for sure.
So then I came here, and I was excited because it wasn't one way. It wasn't one way. So I got to go to, I didn't get to, I can't say I went. I stayed at like Washington, D.C., but I stayed at like at the airport for like an hour 30. I thought it was going to be interesting. I was like, ooh, Washington, D.C., let's go. And then my mom was like, yeah, yay, And then it wasn't fun.
Airports usually aren't as fun as they seem.
Because like have you seen like movies where like everybody's in an airport, like there's always like, it's always interesting. It's
not so much in real life.
No, you got to be there 5 hours early or you're not getting your flight or something.
I know. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, but Washington, D.C. for like an hour 30, and then I came to Washington. And then I had to, adapt to stuff, In Africa, let's say you're given, let's say you're asked, do you want red crayon, blue crayon? If you say you don't care, you're getting beat by a stick, publicly, which hurts even more.
Wow, yeah.
So, but here, if you say you don't care, they'll just give you whatever one, It's just, I don't care which one. And there's many differences in vocabulary, pronunciation, so I had to get through that. But that kind of, I was a different kid.
Yeah.
So everybody kind of found me, oh, he's a different cool kid,
Yeah.
So like I ended up like people knowing me, but I didn't understand what was going on. People knew my name and stuff. I was like, how do you know my name? So I made friends that way. I was like, the different guy.
Yeah.
So I had to, I adapted vocabulary and pronunciation and my accent. So yeah, that was kind of cool. I started, what did I start doing? My mom thought I was really shy when I came in. So my mom signed me up for soccer.
Okay.
Which was fun. Best 2 years of my life, probably. I still know the coach to this day, Coach Song. His wife is like my family consumer science teacher.
Okay.
That's like cooking and stuff.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
Thanks for clarifying that cooking part, because I wouldn't have known what I was.
Yeah. So like, I got to like, I learned a lot of life lessons from that guy.
Yeah.
From the coach, and I got to bond with my teammates, which was pretty cool. Yeah. I'd love to do soccer again.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
You were mentioning to me before we started this that one of the biggest challenges of soccer in Kenya to soccer here in America was the temperature change. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Okay, so Kenya is a pretty hot place. It's not too hot. It rains. It used to rain every Thursday. We'd know that.
Every Thursday?
Yes,
Wow.
a specific date, because you'd be like, the power so the rain would rain on Thursday and the power would go out on Thursday. So like weather was normally sunny 6 days of the week, pretty much. Not always, but pretty much.
Yeah.
So I was always used to, it's warm all the time, so I can go outside, I can talk to people,
Right.
I can have fun.
Yeah.
My body wasn't used to the cold rain of Washington. Okay, so my hands. Okay, so I'd play soccer. My hands, when you're in the zone in the game, you're not really focused on.
Right.
When you feel pain, it's gonna go away in like 2 seconds.
Right.
Till you calm down. That's the adrenaline.
You're in game mode. You're just playing.
I get home, and my hands start aching. It's like there's needles, and my hand is being crushed, and I can't move it or anything. It's like my hands are completely numb, so much pain, and then I end up like, it was like 2 weeks of me just, in the bathroom, on the ground, crying, till I stopped playing soccer.
Wow.
But, yeah, I wanted to go back into it when it was like warmer. Never happened, but
Never happened.
yeah. So
Temperature change. I got to be honest. Like, when it gets cold out, there's something about this climate, especially in Western Washington, when it's cold and kind of wet. Man, we all feel that. But man, the transition from a place like Kenya, where you're literally on the equator,
yeah,
to somewhere that is the temperature changes is going to be more drastic, would definitely be. It'd be difficult to adapt to, which obviously you know that better than I do. You were telling me that your mom works in healthcare and is assistant nurse. And when you guys first came to America, you're 9, 10 years old, and sometimes she would have to work shifts where she'd have to leave, and you would just be a 10-year-old boy at home. And when you told me this story, I couldn't help but think of the movie Home Alone. And how he thought it was so great that he was the man of the house and like is eating giant bowls of ice cream and watching whatever movies. Did you experience some of this like joy when you got to be all by yourself?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Yes, I got to experience all the stuff like, I have the house all to myself. I can pretty much do whatever I want.
Right.
Whenever I want.
My rules now.
And no one's gonna stop me. That was the mentality.
For a 10-year-old.
Yep. I enjoyed it so much until, my mom was working night shifts, so I got to stay up a little bit through the night.
Yeah.
But I took advantage of that. That was my bad. I got to I stayed up like the full night and missed.
What 10-year-old doesn't take advantage of it?
Yeah.
Zero. They all take advantage of it.
I'd redo it because I learned a lot of stuff from it, and it was really fun.
Yeah.
So, no, I was a 10-year-old boy.
Right.
I was stuck in the house. Eventually, stuff got boring, and I started hearing stuff. Like normal stuff that oh, you hear some banging upstairs. That's normal. Because there's people living upstairs. It's like, until like it gets, it's late night. If I hear something, I'm gonna get scared. And if I get, I was having what's it called? I was missing home. I forget what it's called. I forget.
Being homesick?
Homesick. I was really homesick. I used to cry sometimes.
Yeah.
And my mom wasn't there. And at the time, sometimes, most of the time, I didn't have a phone most of the time that I was homesick. Part of the time that I was homesick. So I couldn't like call her to like calm me down or anything. I had to like just let it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I ended up going through that. I'm kind of okay with it now because I know that I'll probably see them eventually. We talk over the phone and stuff, my family in Africa. So, yeah, in some ways, I was living the Home Alone dream. I didn't get any burglars. I'm lucky.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I'm smart enough to pull any of those traps.
Yeah, he was pretty crafty. I don't know how old he was supposed to be in that Home Alone movie. Maybe like 7, 8, 9 years old. But I can't come up with that stuff. I'd probably just hide under my mom's bed.
I just look up on YouTube how to make like what's it called? The like trap where like it's like a I don't know. It's like a string or something, and then you walk through, and then something like pours on you, like a bucket.
Exactly.
Of water.
I wouldn't know how to do that stuff.
I
can barely tie my shoe without needing help, so I can't do that kind of stuff. I wouldn't think of that stuff. I would just hide in a corner. So you grow up, your mom's away. You had to battle the goods and the bads, the highs and the lows of being home alone and having your own rules, but then hearing stuff. As a 10-year-old being a little frightened. I'm 36, and if I'm home alone, like my family's out of town, I hear extra stuff in the house too. So you're not alone in that.
Thank you.
Thankfully,
alone.
I don't remember any instances where I've just cried, but I'm 36. But yeah, I mean, living the dream and balancing being a 10-year-old and kind of having to grow up on your own
Yeah.
because your mom's at work trying to provide for you and the family. Yeah, I think any 10-year-old would relate with your story.
Yeah.
Now, you've gone to Nouveau Youth since Nouveau Youth has been birthed a couple years ago now. And every time I've been there to help lead worship or help in an event or camps, I've always seen you. And you've been somebody who's been faithful to be at the youth ministry and all the events and all the camps. I want to know about your faith story a little bit. We were talking before this about summer camp that we did last summer, and we all went up. I can't remember the name of the lake off the top of my head, but we went. It was a great time.
Fun.
It was super, super fun. But man, we had some services in the evening, and there were some powerful moments. Why don't you tell us about a moment you had?
Well, I was raised in the church, but I didn't really, I was raised in the church, but I didn't really have a Jesus moment till, summer camp.
Yeah.
So I think my true Jesus moment was like, it wasn't cold. It was a very good night. We were singing, and then Swan shared his story, and what I got from Swan's story, I don't know if you guys have heard it, but it's really touching. You should go talk to Swan about it.
It's a powerful story for sure.
Yeah, go ask him about it. I don't know if he's gonna tell you, but you should probably check.
We also have a conversation. One of our first conversations here at the church, Swan shared his story. So if you go back far enough on Northwest Life page, you can find Swan's story. It's powerful.
Yeah, you guys should definitely check it out.
Kyle says the Kyles say you should listen to Swan's story, so you should probably do it.
Yeah. So Swan shared his story, and I that's when I realized that Christianity isn't it's not like a job or like something you kind of have to do.
Right.
It's a community.
Yeah.
It's somewhere where you can feel safe to, be yourself and love, like share a love for someone. So like from Swan's story, and then after like I got anointed, I cried that night. I tried not to, but I cried.
I think we all cried that night.
Yes, everybody
I was
did.
a hot mess after hearing Swan's story.
The day after, everyone had eye bags. It was a very good night. But that day I just realized that, God is there for me, right?
Yeah.
God is there for me pretty much always. If I want to, you don't even have to when you're praying, you don't even have to do the full, you don't even have to kneel or anything. You can just have a conversation.
Yes.
And that's kind of my relationship with him. And
Yeah.
the summer camp kind of told me that this isn't like yes, it's something you have to it's like in your backpack. You have to be it's a set of rules. Yeah, you gotta follow a set of rules. But the set of rules come with something else that, you're gonna cherish forever, and that's someone's love and knowing that someone's gonna always be there for you. Be there for you.
Yeah.
So yeah, Swan's story kind of made me feel like, I can let my guard down.
Yeah.
I can what's the term? I can let go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
There's been times in my life growing up in church and in faith where it's felt like it's had to be so guarded and like I have to appear a certain way. And I've been so thankful here at Northwest Life. I can just be myself. I'm a work in progress. We're all a work in progress, and none of us are perfect, and none of us have it all figured out. But God knows all that, and yet He chooses to love us and be with us. He is Emmanuel, God with us.
Yeah.
And I remember that night very specifically. It was a powerful night at summer camp, and we're all a hot mess and crying. And Pastor Andy calls the band forward to sing, and I'm like, I can't sing right now. I'm a hot mess. And so I'm not sure how I sang that night. It probably wasn't the best I've ever sang in my life, but I just remember that moment, just like you do, man. God showed up in that moment to remind you and all of us how much He loves us and how much he cares for us, and how no matter what we face in life, he is our hope and our salvation, and he loves us. And that's a powerful thing, no matter what we face in life. I think that's the message for today, for our people, for me, for you, for us, is that God is with us. Whether it's a pandemic, whether it's a summer season, whether it's a good season, a bad season, no matter what, God is good. And we can trust him, and we can lean into him, and he is faithful to see us through anything. And again, I'm just so thankful to be able to sit down with you today, hear about your story, hear about your life. And I've been touched by hearing your story about how God touched you at camp, and is continuing to work in and through your life. And thank you for being part of Nouveau Youth consistently every single week. I know that there's probably some weeks that you don't want to go, but you choose to go no matter what. I know that's the same for all of us, just as humans. We go in seasons where it's easy to go to church, and other times where it's more difficult. But you know what? We keep showing up, and God is faithful to meet us right where we're at. So I just want to say thank you for being that faithful leader at Nouveau Youth, that face that people can look to and say, you know what, Kyle's there. He's a part of the youth ministry, and thank you for being a part of it.
You're welcome. I don't know what to say. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Maybe next time we can switch roles, and I can interview you.
Done deal.
I haven't seen you in this chair. Well, this side of the chair.
Hey, we might have to make that happen.
Yeah.
Kyle W. Squared interviews at
Times
Northwest
2.
Life. Absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Well, before we go today, church, we want to say a prayer for you and your family. And as we continue to go through these weekly conversations, we know that there's hopefully light at the end of the tunnel here. We got some things coming up at the church. The campfire things on Friday nights. Also, the staff here at Northwest Life continue to plan Sunday gatherings just around the corner, and we can't wait for that as well. But we want to tell you, keep safe, be safe, wear a mask, do all those things to keep you and your family healthy. Kyle, let's pray for the church as we wrap up.
Yeah.
Father, I thank you for today. I thank you for Kyle and his story. I thank you that your hand is on his life. I thank you that you are faithful. You are good. You are a hope that doesn't dim or fade. You're a hope that never disappoints. And God, we today say you are good. You are good. You will forever be good. And you are our hope. God, I think of Proverbs 3:5, to trust in you with all of our heart and lean not on our own understanding. In all our ways acknowledge you, God, and you will make our path straight. When we don't know which way to go, when we don't know which way to turn, we can trust you, and you will lead us. You will lead us every step of the way. I thank you for that. God, I pray for every person who's listening to this podcast, this conversation today. God, I pray for health. I pray for wholeness in their families. I pray for joy and laughter to be in the homes of our people today. God, I miss them. I miss church. I miss the gathering of your body. And I so look forward to those gatherings that are just around the corner. God, I pray your blessing upon Kyle today and upon Northwest Life Church. In Jesus' name, everybody said, amen.
Amen.
Let the King of my heart be the mountain where I run, the fountain I drink from. Oh, he is my song. Let the King of my heart be the shadow where I hide, the ransom for my life. Oh, he is my song. 'Cause you are good, you're good. Oh, 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 and let the King of my heart let the King of my heart be the wind inside my sail, the anchor in the waves. Oh, he is my song. And let the King of my heart be the fire inside my veins, the echo of my days. Oh, he is my song, 'cause you are good, you're good. Oh, you are good, you're good. Oh, you are good, you're good. Oh, you are good, you're good. You're never gonna let, you're never gonna let me down. You're never gonna let, you're never gonna let me down. You're never gonna let, you're never gonna let me down. I'm confident in this. You're never gonna let, you're never gonna let me down. You're never gonna let, you're never gonna let me down. Oh, you're never gonna let, you're never gonna let me down. You're never gonna let, you're never gonna let me down. 'Cause you are good, you're good. Oh, you are good, you're good. Oh, and you are good, you're good. Oh, and you are good, you're good. Oh, and I know that you're never gonna let, you're never gonna let me down. You're never gonna let, you're never gonna let me down. Oh, you're never gonna let, you're never gonna let me down. You're never gonna let, you're never gonna let me down. 'Cause you are good, you're good. Oh, you are good, you're good. Oh, you are good, you're good. Oh, you are good, you're good. Oh.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out our website, nwlife.church, for more of our online resources, like the Bible reading plan, the weekly family devotionals, and our youth and kids YouTube channels. Also on our webpage is a link to register your family for the upcoming campfire gatherings. The spots are limited, so please make sure you register before. They start this Friday. And finally, don't forget to give at nwlife.church/give. That's it. Thanks for joining. See you next time.